I'm Sharky's Goon. We've lived long enough that we're going to talk about the Star Wars Lego Holiday Special. I can't believe it even exists. In this, Rey is training Finn to be a Jedi. Very interesting. We watch as Rey attempts to teach Finn in the ways of the Force, but she's struggling to do so. She turns to the Jedi text, something, something crystals. Meanwhile, everybody else that you've ever heard of comes on over to the Millennium Falcon for Life Day. Goon, what did you think of the Star Wars Lego Holiday Special?
Let's see. Let me compare it to the original holiday special from the 1970s. It blew it away. It was great. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't know what I was gonna make out of it. When they actually announced it, but it was fun. It was entertaining. I don't know how much of it is going to be canon because it's Lego, but they touched on a lot of stuff, and they even showed how important it is to have a master and an apprentice, even if it is on the dark side.
That was a touching scene there, right? Where you saw Yoda being like, see, everybody has a friend. And I was like, oh, that was nice.
It was nice, and that's part of being a holiday special. Having something like that gives a message. It makes it a Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever Life Day, whatever holiday special whatever you celebrate, it throws it in and it makes you have a feel good message. And that's what the point of these specials are supposed to be.
Yeah, so I think for the canon part of it, I think you just put canon aside and you're like, it's Lego. And, I use the phrase take the characters out for a drive a lot. You took the characters out for a drive and had some fun with them and played into it. I wouldn't worry too much about, did Rey actually show up in a wormhole right before Vader threw the Emperor down? Throw all that out. The one interesting thing from a canon standpoint is Rey training Finn after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. Like, that's not something that you oops, we accidentally put that in the episode. Like, that's really, really interesting to me.
Well, that and also the portals. Those are the two things that make it very interesting to me. The other stuff that happens when you come through the portals, I think could, easily be, hand wave and it disappears. But the portals, appearing in not just in Rebels, but in another property now. And also Rey training Finn because he shows promise in the Force. That's what I was talking about. Like, what part of it might be canon, what part of it might not be canon? Are they going to bring it into other properties? Are the comics or the cartoon or the books, talking about Finn learning the ways of the Force and getting trained by Rey? I don't know, and that's why I asked, what is canon?
Yeah, there are some rumors that somebody wants to use the portals to wipe out the quote unquote Disney trilogy, which I think would be a horrible, horrible, horrible mistake to create an alternate timeline. But it's interesting that they're dancing with these things.
Yeah, and I mean, what do you want to be? Star Trek with the alternate timeline? You don't need an alternate timeline. The original trilogy happened. The last original trilogy happened, and just let it be what it is. Walk away from it, and you can build upon what it is without touching the Skywalkers again.
Yeah, I don't know what you would do. So you'd wipe it out, and you'd what? You'd grab Mark Hamill and ask Mark Hamill to play 10 years younger than actual Mark Hamill is, and do some sort of Jedi Academy thing? Or are you just going to pick up 40 years later after the events of Jedi and not have Princess Leia in it at all and ask 85-year-old Harrison Ford to play Han Solo? Like, what would you even be doing at this point?
We've talked about it, through emails and hanging out and stuff. Just let it be. Just let it be, and then build on from it. That's all you got to do. It's that whole last trilogy was supposed to end the Skywalker line. It's ended. You can use characters from that line, but they don't have to necessarily be, Skywalkers. You could use Rey, you could use Finn, you could use, anybody else, but they don't have to be directly connected to that.
Yeah, are the films flawed? Sure. Almost every film is flawed though. But I love The Last Jedi, and I walked out of the theater after The Rise of Skywalker feeling really good. And I came home and I told my wife, "Oh my god, I'm so happy because they actually landed the franchise properly." And I walked out of there feeling happy and not feeling like they destroyed everything. Do I love that? Oh yeah, the Emperor's back. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. I don't love that. There was probably a better way to handle it. You and I have talked about that on previous episodes. Go back and listen. But those are fine.
They're very fine. I'm good with it. I don't need. I don't. I don't. I'm past it now. I'm on the future. I'm ready for Mando. Whatever series comes out of it. I don't think they should go too crazy with you know theater worthy movies anymore. I think they should just do TV series. They'll end up getting more subscribers with Disney Plus that way. They'll make more money that way. And every now and then you come out with a huge movie, and you don't have to come out with it every 2 years. You can come out with it every 5 years and have just the TV shows build up to it.
Well, with the pandemic now, do you even want to? If you're a film studio, do you want to make $100 million film, or are you better off making 8 episodes of something and just having it in your library?
I mean, you could still make those films even with the pandemic, but just be ready to sell them on demand first, and then be ready to put it onto. If for people that don't have the subscription, you sell it on demand. For people that have the subscription already, throw it on the show.
Well,
Throw
like
it
my
on the
point
stream.
is, like, are you going to make episode 10 and Ray and Finn take on the new big bad, or if you're even going to go there, just make that an 8 episode series?
Well, what you could do is you make it a 6 episode series, and then you end cap it with a big. You can end cap it with a blockbuster. So you don't have to make a trilogy anymore. You could do series, money grab.
Okay. Okay. So back to the holiday special, and kind of in line with what we're talking about here. I liked that they let the audience know that it was one of those good, we know that we know kind of things, where there were lines like, "Oh, Star Killer base, that's lame," or Kylo Ren, "Oh, a helmet, oh, that's original." Like, it was good. They were ripping on themselves.
Oh, my favorite was with the Imperial officer with Kylo Ren when he wasn't wearing a shirt,
Yeah.
and that felt very Austin Powers, and I was just
Yep.
howling at it.
Yeah, that was my big takeaway. I was entertained for the 50 minutes. It came, it went. It's Lego. I wasn't taking it that seriously. I'm not worried about canon. I'm not freaking out about, oh, that character can't do that. It's Lego, man. But I was entertained, and isn't that all you want in the end, is just to like sit down on the couch and be entertained for an hour?
Yeah, and it went by really, really fast. I was shocked at how fast it went by. Sometimes, like with Lego properties, it'll stall a little bit, but this didn't stall. It went like bang, 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 bang.
So my negatives on this, I hated the voice acting on Ray. It was just like too over the top, uh, slangy British. It didn't sound like Ray to me. It was really annoying. And it took me like 5 minutes to realize, like, oh, that's Poe Dameron. Like, I didn't even know who that character was. I don't know what that characterization was, and the voice, I don't know. Those two voices I couldn't stand. Everything else was pretty good.
Did you look at the who actually played some of the characters?
Yes.
Did you notice there was only two of them, or maybe three of them that actually there were real life? They actually
Yeah, it's
played their characters again.
actual Rose, actual Lando. And James Arnold Taylor has played a lot of Obi-Wan and various things. So, I'll count him as well.
I count him as one of the three Obi-Wans. Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness.
And Matt Lanter as Anakin is actually better than Hayden Christensen as Anakin.
My dog is better than Hayden Christensen as Anakin.
So those were all on point. But yeah, I couldn't take that Ray voice. Was really like the first 2 minutes before the thing settled in. I was like, oh my God, I cannot listen to her speak.
Yeah, it took me a while to deal with her. And then I kept getting confused with the Palpatine and the Luke Skywalkers. They kind of sound like Mark Hamill. even the Palpatine sounded like Mark Hamill. I was like, is Mark Hamill doing the Joker as Palpatine? And to see that in the credits that he wasn't him, I was shocked.
Yeah, it was that Palpatine characterization that we've seen in some of the robot chicken things, and I want to talk about Star Wars Detours before we're done here. It was that version of the Emperor. I thought all the Luke Skywalkers were really well voiced.
Yeah, and that's why I was very shocked that it wasn't Mark Hamill coming back to play that role.
The old Han and the young Han, I think we got like two sentences out of them, but those were very good.
Yep, and even like the little things when they were, together looking at each other with the old Han, it just made me laugh seeing that. I they did a really good job with this, and I'm sure George Lucas is just like punching himself in the head after the original holiday specials.
It rang my ears at Tom Kane's Yoda said Millennium Falcon. I'm a Nazi on Falcon.
Yeah, but how many different ways can you say Han too?
No, that is true. So the holiday special has been like, is it canon now? Is Life Day canon, or this is Lego and it's still kind of just outside the canon circle? Like, is Life Day a thing now?
I think Life Day is a thing because you got to have holidays. It's a universe that I'm sure has days like this. I think though that with Disney, how they love to cherry pick things, they might cherry pick, that Ray was teaching Finn and the portals. That and that
And Life Day.
and Life Day. So that's the three things that you'll have.
I want a live action holiday special so bad. I want them to just clean up the original holiday special and make holiday special edition. Maybe some trims here and there, clean up the print. We all know you have it somewhere. Just release it.
Make it a special. You know what? Let George. This is the one thing I want George Lucas to touch. Let him go back in and fix it to his vision.
Yeah. Yeah, go nuts with it. Like, yeah, CGI it up, add everything you want, retcon it, put stuff in there, whatever you want to do to it, but just release it.
So, do we start the George Lucas cut holiday special? Do we start petitioning for that?
It would be great, right?
I think so too. Like the Snyder cut. Let's petition this.
It takes place between episodes 4 and 5, so there are some characters around. And, hey, if George wants to check in with some other people, and let's see what the Hutts are doing for Life Day. If you want to throw in a Jabba scene that wasn't the original, I'll watch.
A couple clones, why not?
Have some clones. What are the clones doing on Life Day?
There we go.
Now, speaking of things that should be released, if you can make this, why can't you release Star Wars Detours? If anyone's listening, they don't know what this is. Look this up. It's the Robot Chicken crew made something called Star Wars Detours. There are not one, not two, not three. There are 30 episodes of this in the can. 30 half hours of Star Wars Detours ready to go. It was in the time period before Disney took over when Star Wars was kind of fallow again. We had our 6 movies. We're never getting another movie. It was a comedic look at Star Wars. I was at Star Wars Celebration. I was at the panel where they talked about this for an hour. This wasn't like a nothing thing. This was announced. They had a major panel. There are clips online if you look at it. And what made me think of it last night is the way the Emperor was portrayed in Lego is the way he's portrayed in Detours. You've got Disney Plus. Just release it. Why is that in the can?
Do you think any of them actually forgot that they have it now?
No, because it's the same people. Like even like the PR folks, it's the same people who've been working at Star Wars. It wasn't like there was this massive turnover or regime change. It's the same people. You think Dave Filoni doesn't know Detours is in the back room?
Well, I remember George Lucas when he was on Robot Chicken. He would let them get away with stuff because he liked Robot Chicken. So I was wondering how much they got away with on Detours, and Disney doesn't feel like it's family friendly enough.
But I don't know. Out of 30 episodes, can you recut them? Because it's not like they're more, if you've ever seen it, it's like skits. It's not like it's full half-hour narratives. So clearly you could take 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Look at the clips that are online. They're not over the line or anything. You could put together maybe there's the dirty episode of Detours and I'm wrong, but out of 30 half hours, you could clearly edit 10, put them up
I,
on Disney Plus, especially when you don't have anything, when we've been sitting here for 8 months going, hey, Disney Plus, how about a new show?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I like we always say, more Disney as long as it's good. More Star Wars as long as it's good. More Star Wars, we're happy with it. So maybe throw, if they don't even want to throw it on Disney Plus, throw up 1 or 2 episodes on YouTube, see how well it tracks, and then if it does well, then do release it on Disney Plus if they're afraid of anything.
Sell me a Blu-ray. I'm from the 2010s. I buy Blu-rays. Sell me a Blu-ray and sell me a Blu-ray of the holiday special edition while you're at it. I'll give you money. I just want these things.
So maybe,
and Young Indiana Jones while you're at it. Stop pretending that doesn't exist. Why isn't that on Disney Plus? Come on.
don't you really prefer that Young Indiana Jones doesn't exist though?
It's something to watch. There's nothing to watch. We're out of stuff. Disney Plus. Oh my God. They finally showed Japanese Spider-Man. I was like, oh wow, something new on Disney Plus for the first time in 7 months. You got stuff. Show it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe they should just do like do hidden Easter eggs on it or whatever. Like there's some website, some like streaming sites that if you like go into a certain section on the page, they have like Easter eggs where you can't track it down, but if you know, you know.
All right, how about this? Kathleen Kennedy, are you listening? I know you guys like selling us the movies over and over and over and over and over again. Do this. Skywalker Saga, 9-disc Blu-ray or whatever we're up to, super deluxe set, include Detours and the holiday special, and you'll get my $150. I'll buy Empire Strikes Back for the 5th time. I'll do it.
You know what they should, if they really want to make a ton of money, do that. Do the original version of the show of the movies, and charge $300, and people would buy it like crazy.
Yeah, the original like non-specialized editions plus holiday special plus Detours plus here's 6 other movies. I'm in.
Yep, I think that'll work. I'm in.
All right, we've solved the world's problems. Star Wars Lego Holiday Special. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Shark and Goon will return.